Anthropology. Anthropology is the study of man. Man, logy, study of man. Study of man. ठीक है. We have 4 branches in anthropology, or what we call as the four-field approach. Four-field approach: biological or physical, socio-cultural, linguistic, and archaeology. You have the 4 branches in your syllabus. The four-field approach, or the 4 branches of anthropology. ठीक है. If you take a UPSC syllabus, if you go to any university, so all the 4 branches will be having equal weightage in the curriculum. ठीक है. After that, we'll go for some specialization in archaeology or linguistic anthropology or sociocultural anthropology as a specialized course, or MPhil or PhD, whatever it may be. But if you take our syllabus of UPSC examination, it is dominated by sociocultural anthropology. It's dominated by socio-cultural anthropology. ठीक है. So it is about the study of culture. Sociocultural anthropology or ethnology. There is one more term for sociocultural anthropology, that is ethnology. Actually, linguistic archaeology and linguistic and archaeological anthropology are considered as parts of ethnology or sociocultural anthropology, or subdivisions of sociocultural anthropology, the linguistic anthropology or archaeological anthropology. ठीक है. Since our focus is on sociocultural anthropology, the entire paper, we should know what is culture. ठीक है. In your syllabus you have culture versus civilization, and we have cultural theories or the anthropological theories. ठीक है. That is nothing but the study about the cultures. First of all, what is culture? Given the significance of sociocultural anthropology in our syllabus, we have to know what is culture. Yes or no? What is culture? What is her culture? What is your culture? What comprises the culture? What exactly is culture? Indian culture, Chinese culture, Tamil culture, Telugu culture, Punjabi culture, Canadian culture, Chinese culture, and even in a culture aspect we have subcultures or the local cultures. What is culture? How it is associated with a person or a society? Why? Because our subject is sociocultural anthropology. What is culture? You may get a definition, you may get a question, what is culture? Now, is culture anyway related to the individual? Like you, like me, like you? Is it related? To what extent? Is it related to any society? Yes. To what extent? To what extent it is related to your life or your behavior or your thought process? You are as you are because of your culture. You are as you are because of your culture. So it was E.B Tylor, Edward Bunnett Tylor, E.B Tylor, who gave a definition of culture which is acceptable to many. There were attempts earlier to define the culture. Can you define culture? In your what is it, language or in your way? What is culture to you? Your behavior based on your society. According to you, what is culture? Transmitted from generation to generation. Acha. According to you, what is culture? So she is telling way of life. You are telling generation to generation. You are telling about behavior. None of you are wrong. None of you are wrong. But whatever you have said, they represent only part of the culture, not the entire cultural elements. So you are telling different elements with respect to a culture. With respect to culture, you are telling different elements. That is indicating that culture is a complex whole. It's not that simple, because according to you, one element is culture. According to you, one element is culture. According to her, one element is culture. So it is indicating that culture is a complex whole. It's not very simple. Culture is a complex whole. Complex whole. E.B Tylor for the first time he defined culture. E.B Tylor for the first time he defined culture. According to him, culture is a complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, arts, morals, laws, customs. A person or an individual acquires as a member of a society. As a member of a society. So culture is a complex whole. It is not that simple. Culture is a complex whole which includes, in this complex whole, it also includes knowledge, belief, arts, morals, laws, customs. Means in this complex whole, there are a few. Culture is not only the 6 elements. In this complex whole, culture is a complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, arts, morals, laws and customs which a person or an individual acquires as a member of a society. So culture is acquired rather than hereditary. It is not biologically heredited. It is not hereditary. It is not hereditary. We get certain physical characteristics. They are hereditary. They are based on biologically hereditary from our parents. We resemble our parents. At least 50%. In all of your cases. Yes or no? Sometimes you resemble your parents. Sometimes you may resemble your grandparents. Yes or no? That is biologically hereditary. It's in your genes. Whereas culture is socially acquired. You will be acquiring culture as a member of the society. What to eat? Eat with left hand or right hand? Why? ऐसा नहीं चलेगा, मतलब can't be with left hand? Then why are you eating only with right hand? That you have acquired. Because your parents told you people to, even my parents told me to eat with the right hand. That is acquired. Yes or no? So is it hereditary? Biological hereditary? Automatically when we chew the food, only right hand goes to the food and we eat? No. Skin color is biologically hereditary. Whereas culture is socially acquired. Yes or no? So here society teaches us the culture. Yes or no? Some cultures are considered, we consider our culture as superior culture, or some other cultures as superior culture, some other cultures are inferior culture. Do we? Is there a perception? That perception is right or wrong, we shall discuss in future. But is there a perception? There is a perception. That we will be discussing ethnocentrism versus cultural relativism, the topic. Okay. Now, you people, are you agreeing that culture is socially acquired? As a member of the society, we will be acquiring certain cultural elements. Yes or no? So culture is a complex whole. Now, here the question is, why there are differences in culture? Why there are similarities in culture? How cultures came into being? The question here is how cultures came into being. Ancient man, prior to Homo, we have Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthals. Did everyone have culture? How cultures came into being? How cultures came into being? Why there are similarities in culture? Similarities in culture. Why there are differences in culture? Now here the question is, did cultures evolve independently? We have human species in wide geographical areas. We have in Africa, we have in Australia, we have in India, America, Canada, Japan. Yes or no? So have cultures evolved independently? Because we wear dress, we use the same tools, we use knives. Yes or no? We use fire. Do we? So culture, here the question is, cultures have they evolved independently? Or at a particular point or at a particular place, culture has developed and from there it has diffused. Roughly world map this is. Cultures, have they developed independently? Have they developed independently? Here one culture. 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 Have they developed independently, or culture it has developed at a particular place? Culture it has developed at a particular place. Say here, from there it has diffused. Because of migration, because of contact with the people living elsewhere. What might have happened? For this purpose, for understanding this, different anthropologists, they have proposed their own theories of culture. Their own theories of culture. One school which believes that culture has evolved rather than diffused. Culture has evolved independently of other cultures. If there is diffusion, this element will be diffused here. There is impact of this culture on this culture. There is impact of this culture on this culture. This is diffusion. Rather, a school believes that cultures have evolved independently of each other. Cultures have evolved independently of each other. This school is called as the evolutionary school. In your syllabus, anthropological theories, you have first thing, evolutionism. Under evolutionism, first we will be having Mr. Tylor, E.B Tylor, the same gentleman who has given the definition of culture. Who has given the definition of a culture.